what we make, if you look through it, it requires a hell lot of skill, endurance and passion to do Indian sweets. Which international chef could do it? Make a rasgulla spongy like that? We put to shame a lot of Michelin star chefs. It's just like our history. What are we doing with the monuments? We don't preserve them. There's nothing called Indian cuisine. There are cuisines of India.
So you were clear from the word go that you wanted to become a chef?
Yes, I was very clear. I belong to kitchen. If I cooked something, people felt very nice. So I felt that skill is in my hand. Nobody can take it. Outside our college, there was this old lady who would make bread pakoras and chai. Every person in Institute of Hotel Management College would swear by that Amma's chai and bread pakora. And she would start only between 3:30 to 5, and we would just wait for her to start and take a bread pakoda and chai. That's such a consistency. And then today when you sit down and see, like they did it out of that passion and that love to do the work. And that's what makes me feel so proud that, okay, that love is still there in me for the food. When anybody asks me, what is Indian cuisine? I said, there's nothing called Indian cuisine. There are cuisines of India. As I said, it's just like I saying European cuisine and putting some pasta and pizza. There's no pizza in Germany. And Italians, French will say, we have so many roast and grills and so many sauces and all. Giving some pasta, pizza and a tomato soup does not make it European cuisine. Just like that, just putting butter naan, butter chicken and dal makhani does not become Indian food, Indian cuisine. Indian cuisine is so varied and vast. We have more than 29 states. We have more than 1,500 communities and cultures and all coexisting. And our flavors change through communities, through cultures, through sub-communities and villages and everywhere.
A wild estimate on the number of cuisines which we will have in India.
There will be more than 150 cuisines in India itself. Like if you look at Kerala, it's a longitudinal state starting from Trivandrum at the south to Calicut in the north. But Trivandrum, predominantly Keralites, Brahmins, Hindus settled there. They have their food expression totally different from what Alpuza or the Cochin, which is mainly Christian dominated, will have. To Calicut, which is mainly dominated by Muslims. So there are almost like 4 or 5 cuisines in that itself. There are small little nuances, like you would do an avial, but there is a little twist in an avial. You will do a sambar, but there will be a little twist, where peculiarity brought across. Andhra, breakfast sambar will not have any tamarind, but a lunch sambar will have tamarind. The breakfast sambar will be a little on a sweeter note, but a lunch sambar would be having a sour note. And sambar again will change with whether it's an onion sambar or a munakkai sambar or a wankai sambar. It will change its flavors and textures around. The Rayalaseema will have a different note from Guntur, because Rayalaseema people like to have a little more on a spicier note.
And what do Guntur people like?
They also like spicier, but little lower. Hyderabad little more lower. The sambar changes again. In Kerala, sambar you'll have a little coconut and also tamarind also. In Tamil Nadu, it will be again, Madurai will have a different note. Chennai will have a little Andhra note. Trichy will have a little bit different note. The spice levels, the flavors, the chilies which they use will bring out the flavors differently. Today, Idli dosa vada has become a national breakfast. You go from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Gujarat to Kalimpong, everywhere you will see the tastes will keep on varying every 50 kilometers. We have culinary masters hidden across the country in every small and big place. You go to any village or any town or any city, you have their own histories out there about food, about their particular dishes. You go to Jalandhar, you have the lovely sweet, which has got the largest variety of laddus in the shop. Like you go to that street, the day he gives salary, which he gives in cash, it's a mail out there. So the city is surviving out of that only. And then Indore, Khaugali, Chapan Bhog, Sarafa Bazaar, where after 8, when these jewelleries are closed, the whole street comes live with street food. And each person doing one particular dish. Somebody is doing only malpua, another is doing only rabdi, another is doing only lassi. One is doing only jalebi, and you have a whole street live and kicking right up to 2-3 in the morning. And the city lives by it. And it is not one day's affair, but every night. To go to Madurai or Trichy and have this Malepu idlis. Malepu is jasmine. These are fragrant and light, fluffy. You eat 20 of them and you will not even know where it is gone. Like Ajit Ali Shah in Lucknow, he was a big connoisseur of food. He would reward his chefs. There were competitions. One person making chapati, that he will put it in one tarazu, one side one roti, and he'll throw another and both will balance still. That's a precision he has. To daulat ki chaat, a traditional daulat ki chaat is such rare to make. Or to go to Banaras, have dahi balla and puri, aloo ki sabzi, and every corner has a very nuanced way of doing it. It's a journey with so much rich in variety, flavors, taste, textures, and love. Like I've just scratched a little bit of it only. Every person doing it so passionately, and not to forget our Halwais, the original street food people of the country. Our Halwais, they have made us so rich about food tradition. They've maintained that, whether it's rasgullas in West Bengal or Rajasthani or Gujarati, or whether it's Mysore Pak in South India or Mohan Thal or Balusha, is amazing. And they have preserved it over so many times, like gulab jamuns, which melt in mouth, and continuously living through ages, through traditions, and through onslaughts. I was talking to one famous halwai. He says, sir, what we make, if you look through it, and as a chef when I see, we put to shame a lot of Michelin star chefs around the world. They take so much pride in the chocolate making and desserts and all those things. It requires a hell lot of skill and endurance and passion to do Indian sweets. A son papdi takes at least 3 people, hours of labor to make that son papdi so light, fluffy and airy. Not easy. It takes really a great skill to understand how to make a rasgulla which is spongy, so light and juicy. Which international chef could do it, that make a rasgulla spongy like that? It will take him years of experience to learn that. But we do not respect that. because we see it in every nook and corner being done. So we do not value it so heavily. Like Sri Krishna sweets Mysore Pak, if you've eaten, it's rich, it's fluffy, it's melt in mouth. You put in mouth, it just melts out. And consistently doing it. We don't have cold climates like Europe where the chocolates will retain its crystal. Our temperatures are different. A good chocolate will melt in your hand. So yes, we need to value what we have also. The knowledge of doing a balushai is as good as having a knowledge of doing a croissant, not less.
How come we don't see this? Why don't we respect it?
It's just like our history. We see all our monuments everywhere. What are we doing with the monuments? We don't preserve them. In America, a 50-year-old thing also will be preserved as history, or a 100-year-old thing will be preserved as antique.
Indians don't value excellence? Us modern Indians?
We are shy of appreciating people very openly.
वो कहते हैं सर पे चढ़ जाएगा.
हाँ, इसकी तारीफ मत करो नहीं तो नजर लग जाएगी. We need to appreciate as much we recognize West and Europe and everywhere. We need to recognize that we have so much of it with us and start appreciating that.
So Tarun, question.
Yeah.
If you had to pick such amazing things which are happening in India right now in terms of culinary skills, what would those be?
In Dehradun, there are a lot of these bakeries doing rusks. They are crisp but light as well. If you see the factories, hardly any equipment. It's the skill of the person. Without any equipment, with minimal of support, he is consistently bringing out the same product day in, day out. Then if you go to Madhya Pradesh, the breakfast there, you have the Poha Jalebi as a breakfast. Light, fluffy poha. And they will just put with little lemon juice and a little bit of namkeen on top. That mota Indori save. Tangy, crispy, sweetish poha. And then you have it with the jalebi. That's amazing. Similarly, you go to Amritsar, stuffed kulchas. They will make with a chutney which is of imli and pyaz and hari mirch. Kulchas are flaky, crisp outside, soft centered, real class. The way they do it, like with the tandoor, उसमें वो हल्का सा कोयला लगा के मीठी आंच पे पकाएंगे उसको. तो उसको जो उसका जो टेक्सचर आता है, it's very difficult. उसको जो लेयरिंग करके उसको बनाना होता है, it's amazing. And then if you're going from Pune to Sholapur, दौड़ कर एक स्टेशन आता है, वड़ा पाव जाए. The vada paos, very nice crunchy bondas, very soft pav. But in between they have लहसुन और मूंगफली की चटनी चिली की, उसमें बीच में लगा के फ्राइड हरी मिर्च लगा के गरम गरम उसको खाने का उसको मजा ही अलग आता है. Then you go down in Kerala, have this appams with crab curry, and that too in a toddy shop. Amazing. Like you go to this toddy shop, उसी पीछे उनका किचन होता है. You have this spicy crab curry with appam and a glass of toddy. And family, everybody sit down and enjoy that. It's really amazing. Similarly, Paniyarams. खासकर जब वो बारिश हो रही है, बारिश के टाइम में खपरेल के नीचे बैठ के उस हल्की लकड़ी के उस पर पकने वाला वो पनियारम बड़े धीरे धीरे पकाते, तो 2-2 पीस करके लेके आएगी, ज्यादा भी नहीं. वो एक मौसम के साथ इतना मजा आता है. Similarly, go to West Bengal, Mughlai Paratha. A Mughlai Paratha is paratha stuffed with meat and all, and an omelette, egg, stuffed inside. तो आप कच्चा अंडा भरते हो and cook it on the almost shallow fry it in a pan. Meat होता है, कीमा होता है, so it brings out that crispiness outside, and they serve it with kasaundi.
Honestly, these flavors we recreated in hotels. to what extent?
First thing which is important for us is to recognize them and value them.
You are already doing it.
Yeah, I have been picking up a lot of my chefs and cooks from the streets and integrating into our hotels. They are very quick learners because they are street smart. They work under a lot of constraints of space, equipment, and they produce so consistently. So if I can give them a little bit of support, they do wonders. Identifying that skill, that persona, and bringing out the best is also one of the biggest things which we as chefs have to do.
We as people have to do.
Yes, definitely.
And Indians, as you are saying, we have to do is to recognize that we have these gems in our society.
We have to take that pride in showcasing our food.